Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer and another unboxing video. Today we're looking at the Bell of Treason, which is about 1938 Munich Crisis in Czechoslovakia, and this is published by GMT Games. Now, this is a game that's for ages 14 and up, 1 to 2 players, and you're looking at about 30 to 45 minute playtime. Alright, now, the Bell of Treason is basically a fast-paced game where 2 players take on the roles to defend and concede, competing for influence to determine whether Czechoslovakia will stand and fight against Nazi Germany's territorial demands. All right, sounds incredibly interesting and actually looks good. So let's get this thing opened up. Let's take a look inside and let's see what we have. So the nice thing about this, it looks like a fast-paced game, looks like it's a card-based game, and I do like card-based games. So, get this thing opened up. Now, let's see. Nazi Germany, Czechoslovakia. Oh, you history buffs, you should be going to town on this one. Now, we're going to open it up, and the first thing we're going to see inside is we're going to get our rules of play. All right, standard for our GMT games, and of course, we're going to get our playbook right underneath it. So, let's go through this and let's see what we got. Now, there's the back page. I'll give you a nice good close-up of that back page so you get an idea what that board's going to look like. With all the cards laid out, it looks very interesting. It looks really, really good. And we're only looking at about a 10-page rule book here, which can't complain about that. I do like a nice short rule book. So, especially when it's a fast-paced game. Fast-paced game, yeah, you don't want these big monster rule books for that. But I guess depending on the game, so who knows. All right, so we got our setup, our gameplay overview, our round cards. Let's see, helps if I turn the page. Okay, playing strategy cards, and this rulebook looks just exactly like every other GMT rulebook I look at. Victory. Now we're going to get our solo play, sequence of play right here. Okay, it's going to continue over into here. And then we're going to get a nice little glossary that's going to be in the very back. All right, looks simple enough. Now, your playbook, I'll give you a good example of that right there. Got your two-player example of play. Solo play example is going to be on 11. You're also going to get some historical notes, your Czech pronunciation guide, which nothing wrong there. Okay, and then a little bit more information about all the different cards. Okay, so I can get that in play for you. So your defend cards. So you're going to get a lot of detailed information. So this book's going to be great to go through to help learn how to play and get you that extra information that you want. We won't go through that one step by step. All right, now you got your play card, right? We got our sequence of play, we got our strategy cards, your pivotal space bonus actions, and your final decisions and victory. And then there's your concede solo opponent. There you go. And it looks like we're going to be getting 2 of those. So get those off to the side. Now our board. The board is the one thing I haven't determined how big the board is. It looks like it might be a relatively smaller board, but I get surprised every now and then. And here you go. And there we go. It is relatively small, so a 4-panel board, but there's not that much there. So you got, looks like maybe some victory points, some escalation. You got a defend cube. I don't know what any of this is about either, too. This game sounds interesting, but I never even heard of it until we got this in. You got your final decisions, your objectives, and it looks like here we're going to have basically our different people, and I'm assuming we're going to be putting our cubes down. We're going to be fighting over the different areas. Let's flip this board around because this side over here is basically going to have their track as well. So this is probably your 2 tracks where you're putting all your different stuff, doing your competing, and these might be the people that you're trying to influence. That's what it sounds like. All right, so let's get everything over here and let's see what else we have. We're going to get a bag of our cubes. So it looks like we're going to have a couple different colors in here and some discs. And these are just going to be our standard, regular, everyday, looks like about a 10mm cube. And we're going to get a couple of these little pawns right there. Everything, quality looks good. Got some round discs for other miscellaneous stuff. Don't know, maybe scoring. Or keeping some of those tracks. If you got like a push-pull track, or you might even use them for, this is where I'm going to be taking my action that particular turn. A lot of times you see them for those. Okay, just 1 regular dice. That's it. Just a 6-sided nice dice, and I like that dice. Feels good. Nice round corners. You know me. I like rounded corners on my dice. Now we're going to get a bag, some Ziploc bags, probably to put the different cubes in, and also maybe to store cards. But this is what I want to take a look at, because this is one of those games where the main part of this game is going to be card-based. And let's take a look and see how these are. And I'll tell you what, man, in traditional GMT fashion, it looks like we got stills pictures on those. I do like looking at their cards. They have a lot of good information. A lot of times you're going to see some good flavor text. But I enjoy it. Now, looks like we got round 1, 2, 3. So I'm not really sure what these are for. All right, but we'll show those. Okay, and it looks like it's going to be probably the same on both sides. And pause if you want to take a little closer look at this. I'm just going to flip them over just in case I can't really see them really fast. Play 1 to 4 rounds following the sequence of play. I'm going to guess they're identical on both sides, so we won't have to do that anymore. And then your general mobilization card and our partial mobilization card. So there you go. Now we have defend initiative, initiative concede, probably for tracking different things. We have some objective cards. I'm going to split these up and let's take a look at the different ones that we have. So we'll look at the objective cards. We're going to have some strategy cards here. And I think that is what the rest of it is. All right, so first thing we're going to take a look at, let's put these down in the bottom. We're going to take a look at these objective cards. All right, and let's see what we have to have. All right, I'll go through them, spend a second, pause if you want to look at them a little bit closer. But I'm guessing we're going to have all the different countries here. That's Soviet Union, the president, your government. Okay. A couple more of these. The press. All right. Okay. And boy, and there's not a lot of cards either. So these are the strategy cards it looks like we're probably going to be playing every turn. Looks like we might have a number up on the top corner up here. It's probably going to be, you're going to play it for maybe this number. Maybe you play it for whatever the abilities are down here. So check out these nice, looks like photo stills in this particular one. Everything else down here. Pause if you need to. And let's flip through these. Okay. Martial law at the border. I do really, I may be one of the only ones, but I do like when they use actual, these war games. I like it when they use stills from way back in the day. To me, that just kind of really brings the game into play. And I'm not really sure what all this down here means either. But yeah, I'm assuming you're just going to be putting cubes all over the place. The cubes is probably what you're using maybe to determine to help figure out where you're tracking everything. To try to get everything on your side. No decision. But this does look like a really nice, light, interesting game. And 30 to 45 minutes to me, sometimes that 30, 45 minute, just, under an hour game is just that little sweet spot for me sometimes. You don't always have time to play these super long games, and you just want to play something fast. You just want to get it to the table. But there you go. And that's all your strategy cards. Now, there isn't a whole lot in this box. So, just make sure, you know me, I like to make sure I have been duped before. Stuff is hidden, nothing underneath any of those slots. Now, I'm going to go back through later. I'm going to put these cards in a Ziploc bag so they're not going to slide around. They're not going to get damaged or anything else. But let's get everything in here just so we have it. Okay, so all we have is the cards, the cubes, the dice. We do have our player aids. We have our 2 rule books. Okay, and we're actually going to have our board, which I probably should have put under these player aids. So there's bend that down. There we go. Okay, get that board. Make that nice and solid. Now we'll get the player aids in there, our rules of play and our playbook. Okay, now we can close it up. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Bell of Treason, 1938 Munich Crisis in Czechoslovakia by GMT Games. All right. Hey, is this something you guys are looking forward to? Let me know down in the comments below. This is right up Cody's alley. I'll definitely tell you that. And this looks really good. I'm excited to get this one to the table, especially with that short playtime. Absolutely love it. And let me know what you guys think about the short playtime games versus long playtime games. How are you guys? What do you guys like about that? Do you like the shorter, the longer, the mix? Just depends upon the situation. Depends upon what I want to play. But there you go. Bell of Treason, 1938 Munich Crisis in Czechoslovakia. As always, thank you for watching.
Cover it with chocolate and a miracle or two.